My Paradise is with You. Written by Just Thinking Drabbles. Read by Rashi. When Ferdinand suddenly wrapped his arms around Hubert's waist and leaned his head against his back, he simply smiled at the adorable gesture. Years ago, he would have jumped and pulled away, perhaps even let out a surprised yelp. But now he was used to it. He and Ferdinand had been married for several years, and surprise touches and gestures of affirmation had become a normal thing in Hubert's life. He had even come to expect them. There didn't really need to be a reason for them either. Sometimes Ferdinand just did it because he wanted to express how much he loved him. Other times it was because he had a bad day and needed the comfort. No matter the reason, Hubert was more than happy to let him hug him for as long as he wanted. Besides, he didn't like to admit it out loud, but he enjoyed being wrapped in his husband's embrace. He was warm, and he smelled sweet, like southern fruit blend and some sort of flowery perfume. It was nice, soothing, in fact. "To what do I owe the pleasure? Sunlight?" asked Hubert, as he turned his head, attempting to catch a glance at Ferdinand's beautiful amber eyes, but he merely caught the sight of his voluminous locks of red, wavy hair flowing down his back instead.
Missed you,"
was Ferdinand's short reply. Hubert knew then that this was indeed a silent request for comfort, and he obliged him readily. He placed one hand over Ferdinand's own, and grabbed a tendril of orange hair with the other, spinning it idly between his fingertips. "Difficult morning?" Ferdinand merely nodded, and Hubert chuckled, finding him to be rather endearing, though, truthfully, he always found that to be the case in nearly everything his husband did. "Would you like me to prepare some tea for you? It might help you unwind." There was a pause on Ferdinand's end, and for a brief moment Hubert worried that he would reject the offer. But then, with another light hum, Ferdinand nodded his head.
"That would be lovely. Thank you, darling. But first—"
He lifted his head, but didn't release his hold on Hubert's waist as he did. He smiled softly, as their eyes met, and Hubert couldn't help but do the same. "May I kiss you?" "Always. You need never ask, Ferdy." Hubert kissed him then, with every ounce of love he felt for him. Yet somehow it didn't feel like it was enough. He wanted more, needed more. And so, more he took. Kissing Ferdinand was like stepping too close to the sun, scorching and blinding, but also beautiful and completely intoxicating. He would do it forever if he were given the time to. It made him feel breathless and almost dizzy in a way that only being with Ferdinand could make him feel. Truly, he loved this man. He loved him with his entire being, and though he knew realistically that he could never convey that as eloquently as he wanted to, he only hoped that he could express it in moments such as these. From the way Ferdinand kissed him in return, with equal fervor and delight, it seemed as though he understood perfectly.